If you could give one piece of advice to someone just starting out with EZLynx, what would it be?
One piece of advice.
Like one thing to try or one thing to implement,
Yeah.
like right off the bat.
Yeah. I know every agency are always at different stages of, you might be at the infancy stage, you might be at the success stage where you're really starting to make a profit and things like that, or you might be an agency who really has everything going for them. I would say those who are in the infancy stages, I would recommend looking at retention, because if you're in your infancy stages, you've worked so hard to get where you're at, and you don't want to lose any customer that you just wrote a year ago or a year and a half ago or last 3 years. So I would just say focus on retention center. That way you can requote and retain those customers. And by requoting them and retaining them, they're going to stay with you longer, but they're always going to think of you first and train them on that. And that's what we always do. Before you even think about shopping, call us first and we'll see your renewal, which we always see the renewal because we have retention center.
Right.
But always emphasize how many carriers you have, that you can do that for them. That way they don't have to call. That's my first bit of advice, because when you're in infancy stages, you can still manage phone calls, you can still manage emails and text messages and things like that. When you get into your success range, that's when you're beginning to be overloaded with work. That's when you need to make a decision. Do I need to hire my first employee, or do I need to hire my second or third employee? And at that point, you're starting to manage people. And those emails and phone calls and text messages that you've always attended to now are being screened by one or two or three other your employees, which your customers may have a hard time understanding. And that was very hard for my customers, because when I was trying to pivot to my employees answering the phone call versus me, they didn't like it because they always spoke to Jared and Jared only.
Go talk to Jared.
Yep. Just call Jared. And I still have one customer. She owns multiple businesses, but she's persistent about only talking to me, even if it's something small, even for an ID card. So sometimes you do have to cater to those carriers. But at that point, when you're in your success range, I would say the automation is a must for you. And that's been so pivotal for us to actually take us to the next level. Is freeing up our time. It's freeing up the time for our staff to quote. And it's freeing up my time. That way I can spend my Fridays not off, of course, because I don't take any days off. So work 12-hour days, as I did back 16 years ago when I first started. But my Fridays are now devoted to business development. That way I look at the week, what worked out well, what do we need to change, what do we need to implement on automation. And that's when I create all my automation templates for EZLynx. And even this Friday, there's a lot of other things we're looking at doing with the text message automation. So I'll be spending my time on those. That way the next work week comes through and things are that much easier for the staff. So there's different stages of your career will present different functionalities of EZLynx for you.